Hi everyone. I thought I would, I think I say this in every video, I thought I would do something different. I'm going to sing for you. No. I don't think Grand Funk Railroad and ASMR have ever been together in one video. So this is a first. Thank you. After the Beatles, they were the first band that I was a huge fan of, seeing them on the Ed Sullivan Show. The next band that I became a fan of was Grand Funk Railroad. I'm trying to remember what year it would have been for me. I think it was 1970. It was when Grand Funk Live album came out. And these are they're mainly all remastered albums, or CDs that came out in the early 2000s. They sound great, and I thought I would go through them and talk a little bit about them and show you the artwork and everything. This is their first album, Grand Funk Railroad, on Time. So I guess these came out in, I think it's like 2001, 2002. There's the front cover. There's the back cover. And I love that they used the old Capitol labels. And each one of these remastered CDs comes with an excellent book. So if you're into Grand Funk and you haven't bought these CDs, I highly suggest you do. And this one, I never heard it I don't know when I actually finally did hear it, but maybe in the mid-70s. And it's got some of my favorite Grand Funk songs, Are You Ready, Time Machine, Into the Sun, although I prefer the live version on the live album, which we'll be getting to very soon. And the whole album is great. I mean, maybe not the greatest production, but this band could rock. Their second album, which is, I would say, it's my favorite studio album of theirs. This is also known, I don't know why, but it's also known as the Red Album. There's the back, plain simple back. Once again, cool label. There's 45 RPM. Lots of stuff to read. And that was the gatefold of the original vinyl, right there. And I love all the songs on this album. My favorites are Got This Thing on the Move, In Need, and Paranoid, and of course Inside Looking Out. Great album. Their third album, Closer to Home. Now, Grand Funk Railroad in the early 70s was, I think, one of the biggest bands, I wouldn't say in the world, but one of the biggest bands in America. There's the back. And I love the inner sleeve of the original vinyl. That was it right there. Great picture of them. Very good album. Excellent follow-up to their second album, Sin's a Good Man's Brother, I Don't Have to Sing the Blues, Hooked on Love, and of course one of their greatest songs, I'm Your Captain. And all of these CDs also come with bonus material, which is great. And this one contains an alternative mix of Mean Mistreater, In Need Live, Heartbreaker Live, and Mean Mistreater Live. But there's also some studio tracks included on some of the albums. This here is my favorite Grand Funk album, and it was, I think it was the first one that I had, that I owned. A double album, Grand Funk Live album. And a different label. So, go. And this one opens up because, I'm trying to remember, I haven't opened this in a while. This came with a poster. I don't know if the, I'm actually forgetting because it's been so many years since I had the vinyl, but I'm unless it's on the other. But I think this album came with a poster. I don't know if that's the original one. That was the inner fold out for the original album. I think it was a different poster for the vinyl album. Maybe somebody out there can let me know. And CD number 2. I love this album. Such raw energy. The introduction is actually exciting. And then Are You Ready, Paranoid, In Need. All the songs are great, and my favorites are TNUC and Into the Sun, which took all of side 4. Next came Grand Funk Survival, which I was really excited to buy, and then I think I think I was forcing myself to like it more than I actually liked it. But it was a disappointment for me and some other Grand Funk fans. It wasn't quite as hard rock. Country Road, All You've Got Is Money, Comfort Me, Feeling All Right. But they do an amazing rendition of the Rolling Stones' Gimme Shelter. And the bonus tracks are I Can't Get Along with Society, which was not on the original album. It's a 2002 remix. Jam, which is Foot Stompin' Music. Country Road, unedited original version. All You've Got Is Money, unedited original version. And Feeling Alright, unedited original version. Version, not virgin. But it's still good. As my CD breaks. I've had these for like 15 years now, so they're still in pretty good condition. Once again, lots of writing. I didn't even know that the Grand Funk Railroad free concert July 3rd in Hyde Park. Just like the Rolling Stones did. And I also remember buying this. I had a paper route. I saved up my money and I bought Grand Funk, E Pluribus Funk. And this, the original vinyl, came in a round cover, which was pretty cool. And once again, I liked the album. I liked it more than Survival, but still a bit of a letdown. But now I like it a lot more, actually. Through the years, I've really grown to appreciate it a lot more. It was them kind of returning to their roots with hard rock. And it came with a inner pull-out, which was that. And I believe the lyrics were on the back, or maybe it was just the credits for the album. And that, of course, is Shea Stadium, which they sold out very quickly back in the day. Foot Stompin' Music is great. My favorites are Upsetter and especially I Come Tumbling. And Loneliness is great too. And then, I believe this was 1972, this album came out and I bought it, Phoenix. And it was a big disappointment. They were starting to use keyboards a lot more, and overall I'm not a big fan of the organ, and that was the inner sleeve of the album, the fold out, whatever you call it. Of course, the big hit they had on this was Rock and Roll Soul, which is a great song. But other than that, most of these songs, I don't even know how they go, because they've never really interested me enough. Except for Flight of the Phoenix, which is an instrumental. Maybe I need to re-listen to it. But oh my God, they came back very strongly with "We're an American Band," which I really loved. Produced by Todd Rundgren, who produced one of my all-time favorite bands, Sparks. Very first album also. And here was their logo. And this is when they added a fourth member on keyboards. But it's a great album. But they were definitely going in a more commercial route. And that's when I gave up on them. This was the last album of theirs that I ever bought, which was Grand Funk Shining On, which this was a 3D cover, and you would peel that off and put them on, and you could sort of see 3D. Even back in the day, I thought it was kind of stupid. And they had a huge hit. I love the artwork, though. It's very impressive. And the big hit on this, of course, was The Locomotion, the remake of The Locomotion, which I love, actually. But overall, this album was a disappointment, and like I said, it was the last Grand Funk album I ever bought on vinyl. And then they had more albums, like I remember when All the Girls in the World Beware came out, and they had this like cartoonish cover of them all muscle bound and all that, and I was kind of embarrassed about it, as were some other Grand Funk fans. And I never had this on vinyl, but it's a pretty good live album. It has some of the energy that the original live album had. And they redo some of the songs from that first live album. But then, of course, they do some of the more commercial songs, like The Locomotion. And I actually saw Mark Farner, the lead singer and guitarist, in concert here in Belleville, Ontario. I'd say maybe a few years back, maybe 7, 8 years ago. He was excellent. And afterwards, I got his autograph, and he signed one of his solo albums for me. And I shook his hand. And that's it. That's my partial review of Grand Funk Railroad's discography. Thank you for watching. I'd be interested in your comments below if you know of Grand Funk Railroad, and if you were a fan, or even if you weren't a fan, you can let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.